Hey, welcome to this episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Link in the description below if you want to get a cool shirt like me. Anyway, this is another one that I got on 𝗏𝗏𝗹𝗏𝗏𝗏. Another one from Phase 3 Brewing Company. P3 Helles, German style Helles lager. Doesn't say much about it other than crisp, crackery, toasty, 5.5 ABV. They're out of Elmhurst, Illinois. No canning date. Alright, so it took me a while, but I finally opened this can and poured it into the Spiegel lager glass, which I feel like I haven't used in a long time. And that is the epitome of like a fizzy yellow beer. It kind of walks the fine line between white gold and gold. I'd probably put it actually more on the gold side. It does get a big white head. Carbonation just streaming up the side there. Let's give it a smell. Yep, smells like beer. It smells like lager. Just to me, it's a lovely smell. Actually, it's just mostly Pilsner malt, just that clean, slightly, like they said on the can, slightly toasty or crackery kind of aroma. I get a little bit of like a spicy hop character in there as well. It's almost like, well, I was gonna say salty, but it's just and that kind of, probably peppercorn or like a rye kind of sensation. Even a little floral. Actually has like a bit of a flower smell to it. So let's see if this American brewery can emulate a Helles lager. Cheers. Yeah, that's pretty tasty. Clean, grainy malt, slightly, like it says on the I almost said glass here, on the crackery, toasty kind of malt flavor. You had wheat thins or what's the other one? Triscuits. Love those. Sort of the way that tastes is how this beer tastes. Sort of. I would actually say there's a faint kind of caramel kind of sweetness, but I was like I'm saying it's like really, really subtle. I would not call this a sweet beer, not at all. It's just like the taste of just like straight up malt. It's very, very similar to a German Pilsner. I would just say like the hops in this one are like way lower than the Pilsner. In fact, that's basically the difference between a Helles and a Pilsner is like the amount of hops. And usually Pilsners are like slightly more high in alcohol. This one is 5.5, which I believe is about standard or on the higher end for a Helles lager, but for a Pilsner, it's like probably about right in the middle there. This is actually, it's refreshing while it's in the mouth. It's like a nice palate cleanser. So I just had dinner, like a half hour, 45 minutes ago. It's like a lingering kind of spiciness on the tongue, and this is just kind of scrubbing that off after each swig. It's probably a combination of like the hops and the carbonation there. This actually has quite a bit of body to it for a fizzy yellow lager. Yeah, I would say it's probably about medium, somewhere between medium and medium full. I don't know if I go straight up medium full. It just has like a bit of a weight to it. Carbonation is fairly high on it. I don't know if it's quite champagne effervescence, but it's quite zippy, as is the most unpopular untapped term. But I will say, it's actually pretty easy to drink, which is why, like with, fizzy yellow lagers like this, it's actually better to pour them into a glass. And it's like less CO2 like stuck in your throat, like as opposed to just sucking it straight from the can. I know there's a little bit of beer left here, but like I think I'm actually liking it more towards the bottom than the top. By the way, some nice it's almost like Belgian lacing on the glass, even though it's a American German style beer. All right, so my score for the P3. Well, before that, got to plug 𝗏𝗏𝗹𝗏𝗏𝗏. Link in the description below. Use that code to get you $10 off your first purchase. This was like $6 on there, which I think is totally fair. All right, so I'm going to give a solid 8 out of 10 for the Phase 3 Helles. I think it's one of the better American Helles lagers that I've had. I mean, I've had a bunch, and it's funny because I know I've had a bunch, but I can't really think of like any off the top of my head that like really stand out. They're always just like, like okay, yeah, that was a nice fine beer to drink, but like if this was like sold in the beer museum down the road from me and it was fairly economically priced, I would probably buy this regularly. Like this would be great with brats or just potato chips or whatever. I think it's very versatile. If you like a Pilsner, but like don't want the intense hops of a Pilsner, like this is a good choice. It's a little less alcohol too. All right, I'm rambling. If you watch all the way in, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll see you for Chad's Beer Podcast. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.